Welcome to this special broadcast celebrating the 37th Annual International March of the Living, as well as the approaching 77th anniversary of the State of Israel. I'm Erin Viner, and I will be hosting today's events directly from the site of the Birkenau Death Camp. My colleague and our reporter on the ground, ILTV Shosh Bedrosian, will be broadcasting from the Auschwitz main camp and along the route. 6 million Jews perished between 1941 and 1945 across German-occupied Europe, which then, at that time, constituted about two-thirds of the continent's Jewish population. This year's march holds great historical weight, marking the 80th anniversary since the liberation of the many, many concentration camps operated by the Nazis and their collaborators during the Second World War, as part of efforts to uphold the legacy of these noble liberators. Israeli President Isaac Herzog and Polish President Andrzej Duda will lead today's procession alongside 80 survivors of the Holocaust between the ages of 80 to 98, making this one of the largest gatherings of living Holocaust survivors together here in recent history. 40 of those have come from Israel, including those who were imprisoned right here at Auschwitz-Birkenau, as well as Buchenwald, Mauthausen, Dachau, and the Theresienstadt death camps, or those who managed to live through the war in hiding or as partisan fighters in the forests. 40 additional survivors come from countries around the world. It's astonishing to note that this is the 21st time that one survivor, Nate Leipziger from Canada, has returned here for the March of the Living, while 40 others are joining us for the very first time. Many are accompanied by their children, their grandchildren, and even their great-grandchildren in a moving symbol of the triumph of life over death. These survivors return not as prisoners, but as educators to share their histories as part of the campaign to inspire a new generation of witnesses to carry on their legacy. This may be their last chance that they're going to have to walk through these camps in memory of their loved ones who perished on these grounds. As the world witnesses a resurgence of anti-Semitism, these survivors feel now an urgency to share their call to stand against hatred, to support the Jewish people and the State of Israel, and to ensure that their voices and legacy are preserved for years to come. 7 torches will be lighted today. 6 are in memory of the 6 million Jewish men, women, children, elderly and young who perished in the Holocaust, while the 7th represents resilience, revival, and rebirth. The International March of the Living is at its core an educational program that brings individuals to Poland and Israel to study the history of the Holocaust and to examine the roots of prejudice, intolerance, and hatred. Phyllis Greenberg Heideman is the president of this esteemed organization. A short time ago, Phyllis and I discussed what makes this year's march, commemorating the 80th anniversary since the liberation of the Nazi concentration camps, particularly poignant.
Observing and commemorating the 80th anniversary since the liberation of the camps and the end of World War II, the welcome end of World War II, are so poignant and should be poignant to every freedom-loving person. But in the thoughts, I won't quote him directly, in the thought process of Elie Wiesel, we had hoped and we had prayed that anti-Semitism died here in Auschwitz. Yeah. And we have poignantly learned, especially in the aftermath of October 7th, that anti-Semitism did not die here in Auschwitz. Our people died here in Auschwitz. Our ancestors died here in Auschwitz. Anti-Semitism, much to our fear, our chagrin, is alive and well and flourishing in every city, town, country around the globe. There is a great sense of not only resilience, but power to walk under the gates into Auschwitz, make a U-turn, and walk out of Auschwitz. Unlike the millions who died here so needlessly, so viciously, we are able to walk out of this place and continue our lives. My life is devoted to memory, to the remembrance of the past, to the dignity of those who died here. They didn't die here. They were murdered here. it has become a driving force to say, I'm here, I'm walking in there like my ancestors, but unlike my ancestors, I'm having the privilege, the blessing, the freedom to walk out. And when I walk out, what will I do? I'm going to fight with every fiber of my being and my colleagues, the incredible people who run the International March of the Living. We are devoted to combating anti-Semitism, helping to eradicate the evils of hatred, which we see as we stand here on this ground. We feel with our feet, with our hearts, and in our heads. We feel the hatred, and we understand what is the aftermath of man's inhumanity to man. If we don't do something about it today, now, 2025, then shame on us. Shame on us, because we have just seen the shoes of little children who, upon their arrival, were murdered here. They never had a chance. Little shoes of little children who did nothing to deserve this horrific, untimely, vicious murder, the taking of their lives. We at the March of the Living don't believe in lies and deception. We want to be honest, open, transparent, and pass on to the next generation the importance of understanding what happened here in this place, in this horrific place, and in many like it. This isn't the only killing place. This isn't the only death camp. In all these places that so viciously took the lives of so many innocent people, the 6 million Jews, what about all the others? What about the total of 11, if you ask some people, 11 million, if you ask other historians, 17 million people by the International Tracing Service? I tell you why. Why? And what we must do is everything we can do to make sure that it doesn't happen in the future.
What do you foresee for future international marches of the living when fewer and fewer Holocaust survivors are able to join us?
That's part of the importance of the 80th anniversary. We are very well aware that this will probably be the last major anniversary where we will have a contingent of survivors, the witnesses, the eyewitnesses. What we're trying to do is fulfill the mission of Elie Wiesel. When you hear a witness, you become a witness. So we are determined in our communities around the globe, 50 countries, who are coming here today on 190 buses from 90 delegations, 8,000 people strong, that they must understand it's time to accept our social responsibility, each and every one of us, to make sure to provide a better future for all mankind.
You know, we're standing here and it's still just so impossible to understand the inconceivable. Do you think that the March of the Living does succeed, in fact, in educating the young people who come here so they can bear witness and carry that torch of remembrance?
I'm not sure that every student at the moment that you're in this frightening place understand. They can't grasp it right away. But I promise you that at some point in their life, what they have seen here, what they hear here, what they witness here will kick in. They will never be able to not take on a Holocaust denier. They will never accept Holocaust distortion and denial. Don't tell me it didn't happen here. It did happen here. I do believe that the student population are never the same. I don't believe any human being who walks into this place walks out the same person that they walked in. So yes, we believe that we are creating leadership for the future, advocates for the future, for a better future, for the Jewish people, for all people. And we will continue our work as long as our legs will carry us. We will march with them. And then we, the older generation, will pass the torch of leadership, pass the torch of memory onto those who will come after us so that we never forget those who came before us.
Since the March of the Living always emphasizes that survivors went on to live very full lives, I'm going to ask you, since we talked about the very somber moment that you experienced the first time you came, do you remember any really happy or very positive things that you've seen here after having coming here for so many years?
It's the great numbers of people that still want to come with us. It's much easier to go to Hawaii. It's much easier to go on a cruise. It's much easier to go any place in the world except Auschwitz-Birkenau. And yet, every year, we have throngs of people from around the world who stand up and say, I want to be a witness. I want to understand history while I can and maybe do something about the future. So yeah, that's my greatest inspiration. That's what keeps us going 51 weeks out of the year to work for 1 week out of the year, is that we know, look at all the people around here who are coming of their own volition, not to go to a beach. They're not on holiday. They're coming to have their heart ripped out about the truth and veracity of the past, the living testimony, the buildings, the trees, the soil, the grass that wasn't here during the Holocaust, by the way. They want to learn. So it gives you a hope that not everybody is an anti-Semite. Not everybody is for death, dying, killing, murder, evil, hatred. Many people are for, the greater population, I have to believe, is for peace, peace among people, and an understanding that each of us has the right to fulfill our lives. So yes, I'm very imbued every time I come here. As difficult as it is, we're going to keep doing it. We'll be here for 85 and 90 and 100. I won't be, but the young people taking over the mantle of leadership will lead this organization into the future.
Thank you, Phyllis, so much. Thank you on this very, very busy day for taking so much time with us. We appreciate it. And I want to tell you on a personal note, your organization has impacted my life, my daughter's life, my son's life, so many more children. You've changed many, many, many lives with your very important work. Thank you so much.
That's the reward right there. Thank you so much.